I was very angry at the world. I didn't, like I said earlier, I didn't want to listen to anybody. I didn't want to, be a part of anything.
Lorenzo had come from a life where trust was hard to get. Never really seen anybody. There was people that came in his life, people that came out of his life.
He knows what it means to be beaten down. He knows what it means to be rejected.
What would our life look like if we didn't have our families? What would it look like if we didn't have our mom or dad or support group of siblings to go to?
I remember having a practice going on, and there was a time going on where Lorenzo tackled with his head down. The ambulance came in.
I caught a muscle spasm from my neck down to my lower back, and I couldn't really move, so they put me in the hospital.
As I walked into the room, Lorenzo lay on the bed, and I said, "Man, is everything all right?" He said, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna be okay." And I said, "Is there anybody that I can call? Can I call a family member or somebody and let them know that you're gonna be okay?" And he said, "Chris, I have no one that you could call in my life."
I told him no, there wasn't anybody, and that I was on my own pretty much, and you guys were the only ones that I would contact if I got hurt or anything.
I remember looking on the table, and there was just a Post-it note. And I remember reaching down and grabbing a pen and writing my name down on this Post-it note. I remember sticking it down on the Bible at the time, putting it down on the Bible, and I said, "We have somebody that you can call now."
I realized that, now that the coaches and now that Chris Morgan really care about me, I'm not here alone, I'm not here by myself, and that if I really need some help, I know where to go get it. I stayed in the East Atlanta area, so there was a lot of hood drugs and, probably like prostitution around everywhere.
Life wasn't very good for him at first.
My parents, I haven't seen my dad since the age of 2, just when I was in California. My mom, she sold drugs, for a living to, bring money to the table or whatever. She was never home, it was just me and my 4 other siblings, so we had to fend for ourselves.
So not only is he big brother, he's actually dad, he's actually mom, he's telling his young brothers and sisters what to eat, when to eat, put them in bed. It's a huge responsibility. So this young man, I'm sure at a young age, said, if I'm gonna get out, how?
At the age of 10, I really just stepped up and said, you know what, I'm gonna help out as much as I can. My sister, she would go out and, do whatever she did to get cash. And I would take out trash, go around the neighborhood asking people to take out their trash to get like as much money as I could.
He went through a lot up here.
Me and my siblings were in school, and next thing we know that we have police officers knocking on the classroom doors asking to, grab us out of class and take us to a resource facility. And the process of that was scary. We didn't really know what was going on. We thought we were doing something wrong, but we were told that our mom was locked up again and that they needed to go through the whole process again.
Lorenzo, unfortunately, was a kid that was involved in a family that had a Child Protective Service report. That CPS report turned into an investigation by the local DFACS office. That report was for neglect and maltreatment. What then led to that child, Lorenzo and his siblings, being removed from the home.
It's very difficult to live in a group home setting, and it was all teenage boys.
A lot of times in the foster system, the numbers you see are younger kids. So younger kids don't move around as much. When you begin seeing the teenage kids who come in as 12, 13, 14-year-olds who really are bigger, more autonomous, have more to say, let's mention it that way, then in fact they're a little more harder to manage and people don't want to manage them.
might have had some anger in him at the time when he first got there, because when all children come, they always saying, well, nobody's going to tell me what to do. You know, that meant to me, you're not my family.
We were all firecrackers. We didn't want to listen to anybody. We were just, every time someone got us upset, we would just go off. And we seen that our mom does that. And, I seen that, and I was like, you know what, I see where my mom is ending up, and I don't want to end up where she is now. So it was a challenge, but I got over it.
He was bounced around a lot of homes, separate from his siblings, but he always was the one that you could tell he was going to get through it.
The only thing that saved me from really just like giving up was football.
I think Lorenzo knew that football was probably going to be his ticket out of here.
He missed out on a lot of things that maybe a lot of athletes don't get a chance to see. You play a football game and you walk out, even in high school, you walk out and mom and dad are normally waiting. Lorenzo Mauldin's a young athlete that after the game's over, he sits in the locker room and waits for everybody to disperse because he wants to go out to an empty parking lot because there's nobody there to see him.
It was overwhelming for me. I had family to worry about. I was in a group home, so I was away from them. And I had football to worry about in class. Like I said, it was overwhelming. I couldn't really deal with it, but then I had to realize that I had to deal with it because it was going to get me where I needed to be in life.
The statistics bear out that you're as likely to become a professional athlete as you are to graduate college as a former foster care child.
That's what you got to fight for. That's what you got to fight for. Living there, and then you can go on to college and get your college degree and go on and be somebody and do something in life.
My brothers and sisters are my inspiration because, if I gave up, I wouldn't want to see the faces that they would give me if I told them that, I couldn't do it anymore.
He wanted to be a survivor. He did not want to be a statistic. He wanted to be someone that young men and women could look up to and say, look, if I made it out, you can make it out.
I believe I was one of the first guys to commit to South Carolina in my class, but then the day before actual signing day, they told me that I wasn't going to be able to sign a letter of intent because of what my grades was like.
Unfortunately, at the end of that path, they had overextended their offers and had to make a cut. Lorenzo still had some academic work to do to qualify, and so their decision was, we're not going to sign him for this particular incoming class.
I felt like all of my anger that I had built it up to that point, I just wanted to release it all, but I couldn't because, I had family, friends, and, I just put a smile on my face and, just hit all of my emotions behind that smile. I was on my way down to Troy University, and I get a phone call on my phone, and it's Coach Charlie Strong on the phone, and he's saying that, Mauldin, we heard about you being the face of oversigning and everything, and we want you to come down to the University of Louisville and see what we're about. I feel like it's a family environment. You got family, you got friends, you got people that you can depend on.
The ability for Lorenzo to find family wherever he goes is amazing.
after telling my story once or twice, I started getting emails, I started getting, messages, DMs on social websites from all the fans and everything, and I started to realize like these people actually really care about me.
It's like you got two families, here in Georgia, here up in Louisville.
Just looking in the stands and seeing all these people in the stands cheering for you and your team, it feels good. I wouldn't think that I'd be here from where I came from.
Underneath that hard shell, that tough, angry shell, is just a little boy that just wants to be loved. And as I've watched him grow from that moment, which was a freshman, to now where he's at now, that is an incredible transformation. He doesn't want to go back to that lifestyle. He doesn't want to go back to the streets. He doesn't want to go to an empty home. He wants to be the best where he can use his platform to help others that grew up in the same situation as him.
Being able to, just tell my story is a blessing, because there are other children out there that are going through what I went through, but I just want them to realize that that isn't the end, and there's always another door to be open, and open that door and you can be blessed just as I did.